Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another tutorial. This one isn't Vegas, this is just gonna be how I make my thumbnails, and it's really easy and quick once you get the hang of it. So yeah, let's get started. First thing you're gonna need to do is get some good looking fonts. I use this site called dafont.com, and I go to the sans serif section, which is where you can find some modern looking fonts. They've got a ton of other stuff on here, so if you're looking for a certain aesthetic, you can find you can pretty much find anything on here. One thing I do recommend doing is going down here, going to more options, and selecting 100% free. This is going to give you fonts that you're able to use completely legally. So if you're sort of a content creator with a following who may have the attention of legal groups, you're going to want to use a completely free font. So I'll use this bold font, or I'll use this as a demonstration for how to install fonts. So download it, double click the font file, hit install, and then the font is installed. You'll need to restart any programs to get it in there, but it's pretty simple. So this is the thumbnail that I'm going to be showing you how to create. So here's the basic rundown on how to do this. So make a new project, make it 1920 by 1080. You're gonna want 4 layers, including the background. On your background layer, you want to choose 2 different colors. I'm going to make a blue gradient. I'm not going to be putting too much effort into this. This is basically just a quick tutorial, and I want to get it done with as fast as possible. So I'm going to be making these colors look a little bit better. Want it lighter. That should be good. Now what we're going to do is go to Effects, Distort, Crystallize. Make the cell size about 79, that's what I like to use. Effects, Distort, Tint. I've already got this set up how I like it, 55.70, 67.87. I usually just use the sliders and get it to a point where I like how it looks. Maybe tone down the roughness a bit. I liked it. I liked it how it was. So now we've got this cool texture on the back. Now we go to our 4th layer, and we're going to be making the border. Border is pretty simple. You're going to want to go by pressing O twice to the rectangle tool. You'll want to put the width on 17. And now you click in the corner, drag out, and go to the other corner and make sure that you don't lose any pixels. So that is perfect. Now we've got our border made. Now one of the effects that I like to use, I'll put a link for it, both of these in the description, is Object Shadow. I'm going to reset this to about 0, so there's no offset and the shadow is universal around the entire thing. Increase the radius a bit, increase the density a bit, and that'll add a nice looking shadow around the border. So now we've got this cool shadow on the texture that's the background. Now what we're going to be doing is making our fonts. So I'm using Lemon Milk. I'm going to use Lemon Milk Bold and Lemon Milk Light for the fonts. So use whatever size fits. Make sure you're doing these 2 things on separate layers so you can align them correctly. So I want it to say quick and easy. Don't need to worry about that now. And then Lemon Milk Light, thumbnails. Now we go ahead and go to Effects, Align Object, Horizontal, and do the same thing on the other layer. Now we basically just move this. I select the wrong layer. We move this text however close you want it to the other one. Click on the layer that is above it and merge it down. So you should have the border, then the text, then the background. Now go to Effects, Align Object, both, and do the center. Then we go to Object, Object Shadow, add an offset to it. I think I liked it at 12. Turn down the radius, turn down density a bit. I wanted a little bit less dense and more of an offset. And there we go. Now we've got the thumbnail made. One thing I do like to do is go to the background and add a bit of noise. This will make it a little bit more textured. Gonna up the intensity and coverage a bit, and then we're gonna go to blurs, Gaussian blur, and just blur it at about 3. And that looks good. So that's basically how you make a thumbnail pretty quick. Oh yeah, when you're saving it, save as. I save 2 versions. I save a PDN. So thumb tutorial, copy that, go to my graphics folder, paint.net, save that, then file, save as, go to my PNG folder, change this to a PNG, this way you can use it on YouTube. Oh, messed that up. Thumb tutorial, save, okay, hit flatten, and that'll reduce it all down to 1 layer. So if you like this video, drop a like, drop a sub, do whatever, share it, tell your friends, tell it to fucking everybody at the lunch table. Swear to God, if you don't do that, I'm gonna threaten you. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm gonna be dropping more shit like this with Vegas, Paint.net if people want it. But yeah,